Hey guys, I'm aware I didn't tell you, but I actually had a trip planned. I go once every couple of months to Florida to visit Sora, and I left yesterday, and like planes really make me nervous. So yeah, most of my day yesterday was spent just dealing with planes and stuff. But I'm here now, and it's just so weird to be in a place where there's no snow. It was a good bit warmer, but it's a little bit cold now, and since I get cold easily, kind of shivering. But I just wanted to take a walk because I found something out this week that made me a little bit sad and upset. So when I start to let myself dwell on it too much, I try to get up and do something else. So I figured I would make you guys a video, and just like the thing that upset me actually like jogged a lot of experiences like I've really been learning from. So I have no idea if what I've learned like will help you guys in any way, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what I've learned, give it examples and stuff, and this might end up being a kind of a long video. You know what's super cool, by the way? There's like flowers blooming already, like everywhere. And I'm definitely going to take some photos because I love taking photos of flowers. But, yeah. I'm going to tell you guys about my experiences and what I've learned and give you some examples to make it easier. One of the main things I've learned is when you're in a relationship, it doesn't matter how hard one side works. If both sides don't work together, it's never going to work. Like, you can be trying to be the most honest, sincere, like, loving person ever, but if the other person won't give that back, it's not going to work. Don't blame yourself if you're trying super hard. Don't blame yourself if it's not working. It's not your fault. Relationships are complicated, and if people aren't communicating on both sides and people aren't saying how they truly feel, then no relationship will succeed. You need a good foundation. You need to be able to trust each other, tell each other everything, and be able to be willing to come to a middle ground. So that's something. I know that people of all ages watch my channel, but for the younger people out there, like, really take this to heart, because you may not have a lot of relationship experience, but that one thing is always true. If both sides aren't working, then it's not going to work, okay? Please, please, just, if you're ever hurting and you feel like you need advice, or you just want somebody to vent to, I will be here. I'm very awkward. It's very, very hard for me sometimes, but I want to help you guys. So, just letting you know that I am here for you. Let's see. Another thing I learned. Well, if you guys didn't know, which I think I've mentioned this before, I'm a Christian. Lately, as a Christian, I've been learning I have to put more of my faith in God. I can't put my faith in people, because no matter how amazing a friend is, or family member, or your significant other, no matter how much they do for you, they're going to let you down sometime in your knowing each other. You have to understand that people aren't perfect, and that God is perfect. And sometimes you just have to trust God with things and not trust people. I don't know how fully I explain this, and I'm not going to fully explain it, but the reason you haven't seen a lot of my friends in my channel is because I'm actually taking a break from them. Because when we would have Bible studies and when we would hang out, I would care more about the hanging out than spending time with God. And that wasn't doing me good. And anything that they would say and do would affect me. Like, even if they didn't mean anything bad by it, it would affect me so much. So I knew that it was just feeding off of my insecurities, so I knew I had to take a break from them. Doesn't mean I don't care about them, doesn't mean they aren't awesome. It's just that my insecurities were affecting how I do things, and it wasn't doing me any good. If you're an insecure person like me, you've got to get to the root of what's making you insecure. You got to figure out what you can do to make that better. And honestly, you may notice, you may not notice, I'm overweight. Definitely for my size. I am 185 pounds and I'm 5'2". I should be about 120 because I've got a small build. So the fact that I'm not skinny like every other girl makes me look in the mirror and think, oh gosh, I'm ugly. Am I ugly? Probably not. But the insecurities of how I look make me feel like I'm not worth anything. And often people you care about can accidentally feed off of that and just, make you feel worse. There are some people out there that will encourage you too. That will tell you, oh, you're beautiful, you're wonderful. But sometimes when you've gotten to the point where you're super, super insecure, those nice things don't go through anymore. You don't believe them. And it's very, very unfortunate that we have come to a point where being skinny is beautiful, because it shouldn't be. I've pretty much, since I've been teased in school and since I've had people treat me kind of bad in relationships or had bad relationships go sour, I've always believed that no matter how talented I was in anything, I wasn't as good as I should be. I was worthless. And it sucks because I am really trying hard to get out of that mindset. And I hold a lot of bitterness towards certain people that have just fed that. And you can't hold bitterness in your heart and hope to be a positive person. You really can't. And I really, really want to get rid of all that bitterness. And I need to say something. When you forgive someone, when you decide that you're going to forgive someone, it does not mean that what they did was right. They don't even have to be sorry for it. It does not mean that they did anything on their end. It means that you are choosing to let that go in your heart because your being happy is more important than what they did to you. So, if you have something in your heart, you need to figure out why. You need to get down to the root of it, and you need to figure out how to let it go. At the point I'm at now, this thing that I've got down here, I can't figure out how to let it go. I know it's there. I know some reasons why it's there, but I've made it so complicated for myself that it's going to take me quite some time to get it out. But sometimes you have to forgive a person for you, not just for them. Sometimes it is good to forgive a person for them if they're truly sorry, because then it shows that you can be understanding and forgiving and that you care more about them than you do about your own pain. And that's fantastic. But not everybody's sorry. So you have to know that sometimes you have to do things to help yourself. I want to be a positive person who encourages people, who's there for people, who is proud of my talents and knows that I'm worth something, who looks in the mirror and thinks this is a great person. Not like in love with myself, totally like conceited, but better than what I am right now. I want to be that kind of a person that people feel they can come to and talk to, instead of being negative all the time, instead of running from people all the time, instead of assuming that everybody has the worst intentions. Because people they don't all have the worst intentions, they don't. But because I've been stuck in such a negative mindset for so long, that's what I assume. So, I know there was more I was going to say, but I'm blanking on it. So I hope that anything I have said can be helpful to you guys. And I know this is kind of like a heavy video. I still have a lot of WoW experiences to share and a lot of fun stuff I would like to include. But I just figured I'd make one of these kind of deep videos in case it would help people. And I just needed to take a walk to get my mind off of what was making me start to cry, because I don't need to feel that way. crying about it, being upset about it, being angry about it, isn't going to change it. The only thing that's going to change it is how I look at it, how I react to it, and how I decide to deal with it. You know, one thing I did learn is that, like, I've known, like, in the past that I was a controlling and manipulative person, and I've worked really hard to get that out of my system. But now I understand where the control came from. I thought I should control people so that way they didn't make mistakes, so that way they didn't screw up their lives. That way, you know, I could help them go in the right direction, but you can't do that. Sometimes people have to learn from their mistakes. Sometimes people have to go down the long and hard road, because they're never going to learn any other way. You know, I've had to do the same thing. I've had to go through really hard experiences to learn, but in the end, it made me a better person. I'm growing and changing every day. The person I was 3 months ago isn't the same person that's standing in front of you, because I want to be a good person. So, yeah. But, you know I can't control that person. They are going to have to make their own choices and their own decisions, their own mistakes. And what they're doing right now, I personally think is a mistake, but I can't know that, and they can't know that. It just has to happen. And there's at least 1 or 2 people watching this that know, since I'm standing in the location that I am, they probably know what I'm talking about. But I want you to please don't be offended by this. I'm trying to keep it as vague as possible, and I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not. I just needed to vent, and I thought that my venting might help some people. And I'm really, really sorry if I upset you guys in any way. I'm really not trying to do that. So if you guys know what I'm vaguely talking about, like if any person that watches this knows what I'm vaguely talking about, I'm not trying to be offensive. And if you are upset about it in any way, please come talk to me. Don't hide it. Just come talk to me. Okay? Alright, now I want to show you something really quick before I end this video. I have never seen a red clover, but apparently there's like a ton of them here. So, look. There they are. Those are red clovers. They are absolutely beautiful, and I am totally going to take pictures of them tomorrow. But as you can see, it's getting dark out. And I'd wanted to walk earlier, but I really wanted to spend time with Sora. But since I was getting upset, I figured, alright, everybody's taking care of him. He's totally fine. I'll go. And for those of you new to my channel who don't know who Sora is, he is actually my son. He does not live with me. He lives in Florida. Obviously, that's why I'm in Florida. And yes, he is named after the Kingdom Hearts character. But yeah. For those of you who didn't know, I have a 1-year-old son. So, yeah. I guess that's pretty much it. I'll talk to you guys later, and if you need anything, you can let me know. Alright. Bye.